Hold on, y'all. Let me see. How do I do this? Let me set this up real fast. There you go. Okay, so Luna escaped already, y'all. She escaped already. And I said, well, that guard is very useless. First, you allowed her to use you for social media so she could check on Will. That's the first mistake. Well, that's the first one I know of as of right now. Now, you let her talk you into opening the cell. I was hoping because they showed her on camera, so I was like, okay, they may do a playback and show us, what happened. But yeah, then she convinced her to open the cell door. So I don't know if she blocked it. I don't know if she managed to get the key from her. I don't know what she did. But either way it go, Luna out of jail, y'all. She done escaped. We've been saying all week that she was gonna escape. And she done escape. And she's supposed to be on the run on next week's episode. They showed her. I like the way they filmed it though. They showed her running and stuff like that. And I said, well, I think that baby's gonna be gone. I think that baby's out of there. I don't know. I think she gonna be running. It's gonna be dark and stuff like that. I was like, well, that's it. I said, that's it. At the same time, they've been steady talking about, wait, I'm supposed to do a quick summary first, then we're supposed to dive into the review. Okay, let's start over. Luna escaped already. I said, well, that guard is useless. She ended up getting in that laundry cart as expected. Will and Lecter was just talking about moving forward. Katie ends up updating Donna and Brooke about her and Bill's relationship. And the last thing is that Liam and Bill talked about Katie. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life of Chester for the Bottom Video for November the 14th, I think, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? But yeah, I think she's gonna lose the baby. The other thing I was gonna talk about is that they keep on mentioning Storm, their brother, and the fact that he saved Katie and how Katie has been through so much and stuff. Somebody said they think that Katie's gonna be trying to protect Will or whatever, and she's gonna end up in the crossfire. Now that could happen, especially since they ain't just talking about it for nothing. I mean, they could be. I don't know. I'm assuming there's something about Katie. The fact that her and Bill back together, or they could switch up on us and make it about Bill. Bill could be the one that get hurt because Bill been saying it's all his fault and all this other stuff. They trying to trick us. That's what it is, y'all. But I don't know for real. I'm just guessing. But okay, so on today's episode, we're gonna start with Brooke, Donna, and Katie. Donna and Brooke was just happy that Katie back with Bill. They were just talking about the fact that Bill is a new man, he's changed and all this other stuff. Katie said Bill, yeah, I just said that. Katie said Bill kind of a new man. And they was just happy for her and stuff. They whole conversation was about the same thing. Then they end up finding out that Katie and Bill gave Will the guest house, not the guest house, the beach house or whatever. And they was wondering, was that a good idea? Because, Luna run around, Luna don't shop these folks in their house. And she was like, yeah, we don't have to clean and all this other stuff. And once again, I say, you saging the house and all this other stuff. It's not going to take away the fact that that lady did what she did. And she about to come back and do the same thing again. Now, I don't know or whatever if anybody's going to get hurt. But I'm assuming people going to get hurt. Chief Baker there, I think they showed, what's that lady name? They showed Ivy, Will, and Electra, I think, standing up there. Then they showed Lee, Poppy, Sheila, and I don't know. I think it was a man behind Sheila. I don't know if it was Deacon. I don't know if it was Finn. It was kind of fast. I don't know, y'all. And Will was telling Chief Baker that Luna went that way and stuff like that. He trying to tell him to stay there. I said, if he on the case, is this girl finna get away? I said, if he on the case, she going back. She might as well go turn herself. I said, nuh-uh. I said, if he on the case, she finna get away. But I think she gonna end up tripping or something because they show her running and everything. I said, look at you. All to see this man. All to see him. But yeah, okay, what else? Let's see. Bill was trying to get home to Katie. That's what he told Liam. Luna said her life ruined, and she was still crying. She been crying for 3 days, 3 nights now. She was still crying about Will, talking about how her life is ruined or whatever. I got to get out of here. I got to see Will or whatever. And they passed by with that laundry again. They passed by the laundry with the laundry again, and I was like, she finna use that to get out some type of way. I thought she was gonna convince her to let her help or something like that. Then when she told her to open the cell or try to convince her to open the cell, I was waiting on her to hit her or something. But then she on camera, they would have just came rushing in. I hope they do a replay and show what happened, but they probably ain't. But yeah, she said something about laundry or whatever. I said, this food. I said, where y'all be getting these people from? What type of guards y'all got? First, she over here using her to type on social media to check on Will and what he got going on. Somebody remember what I told you about her and all this other stuff. Now, she convinced you, I'm sure there was a protocol. I'm sure there was a protocol. I said, Then she's supposed to go check the bed, and it's supposed to be, I think, some pillows and stuff like that. Then she's supposed to say, put it on lockdown. It's too late. It's too late. Somebody put it on lockdown. She's out. How you gonna lock it down? She already up out of there. But yeah, I said they got the same one back. I was wondering who she was calling, what guard she called. She called the same lady. Wasn't it the same lady that let her get on social media? But yeah, what else? Let's see. Um, After Luna said her life was ruined and she has to get out to see Will, Will and Electra was just kissing. Then they really wasn't really nothing going on. Bill and Leon was talking about Will and what he's been through and how he deserves peace. Luna said she has laundry too, or whatever, and I said, here she go, y'all. She finna run for it. They said she's supposed to be planning to escape. I didn't know she was gonna actually escape. Excuse me. Leon said Bill has done everything to make up for what he did in regards to Luna, and that's how I was like, okay, maybe it's not gonna be Katie to get hurt. Maybe it's gonna be Bill, y'all. Maybe it's gonna be Bill. I don't know. I feel like somebody gonna get hurt, but I just don't know who. Katie hopes that Will and Electra can find peace. Will said that hopefully there are no bad surprises or whatever. They started talking about Storm again, so I was like, okay, something's gonna happen. Anytime they get to talking about somebody that's not on there, or talking about Katie and her hard condition and how she's been through so much, you can assume something's about to happen. Well, you can't assume, but I don't know. What else? Bill said Luna would never harm Will again. They showed the guard and another guard outside, and they was talking about some fight that happened. I said, I guess she orchestrated that too, huh? They was talking about some fight happened. She was like, she ditched the car somewhere. I was like, she just breaking all type of protocol, ain't it? So then next thing you know, they called her in because they wanted an update on the fight and everything. So she leave. Next thing you know, Luna peeped her head up out of there. She peeped her head up out of there or whatever. I said, I said, she gone. I think they said something about a truck supposed to be coming to pick it up. I said, this lady, I said, But yeah, so she's supposed to be out, and once again, she's going to be running and stuff like that, so I'm assuming she's going to trip and fall, but I don't know. We'll see. That's it, y'all. That's all that really happened. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day. A great week.